Do you want to know what the worst thing is about being a psychic medium? So some of that is seeing things that we don't know if they're going to happen in the future or if it's something that has happened that we haven't learned about yet. And I don't always see really negative things when I'm channeling for somebody. So typically my guides will remove those images from me because I've asked them not to show me anything that's like disturbing or horrific unless it's absolutely necessary to connect with who I'm reading for. In my dream state, it's a little bit different. I do still see a lot of really disturbing things in my dreams, and last night was one of those nights. So I, in no way, shape, or form, am predicting that anything like this is going to happen. So I want to preface by saying that it's likely just a dream because I'm human and we do that. But I had this really unsettling dream that I was in what looked like a school or a nursery. And inside, there was one teacher and me, and I want to say roughly about 10 or so kids in the classroom. And they were little kids. Some of them were really little babies. And so I really don't know what I was doing there. Like, I don't have small kids. All my kids are grown adults at this point. So anyways, in this dream, we're going about our business. We're doing whatever we're doing in there. And we hear this loud sound like glass breaking in the hallway. And for whatever reason, this room had really big windows, like floor to ceiling windows. They reminded me more of like a glass sliding door. Now, when I dream, my dreams are incredibly vivid and detailed. So like I could tell you what color the walls were. The curtains were like this yellow color. Like there were these like padded table chairs that the little tiny kids were sitting on in like, I don't know, like a portable high chair or something. But anyway, so we hear this sound of glass breaking in the hallway, and the shades or the curtains are drawn most of the way on the windows to block out the light. And there was a small crack in the curtain so I could kind of see out into the hallway. And unfortunately, in this dream, I could see just enough to see people being harmed, and in a very graphic way that I'm not going to discuss on here because it's just unsettling. So I see all these things unfold and happen, and literally we can't do anything. The one other person that was in the room with me tells the older kids to hide in the corner, and I'm thinking, hiding in the corner, is that the best we have? You know, if that situation really unfolded in real time, is that really all we have to protect our little kids or our older kids, any kids whatsoever? And I've been an advocate for this for years. It's like, if courthouses can have security personnel, if they can have metal detectors at the entrance that everybody has to use to get into the building to protect the judges, to protect, you know, whoever else is working there, lawyers and, you know, whatever. Why in the hell can't we fund that in every single school in the United States or everywhere? Why can't we make that a priority to keep our kids safe? That no person is allowed to enter except through those areas where they're screened, their bags are checked. And yeah, it seems excessive. But do you want to be that family on the receiving end of that news that something happened to your child? Of course not. So why don't we make it a point that that needs to be something like we go purchase school supplies every year when we have kids in school? Why don't we make it a priority to absolutely, without a doubt, make schools a safer environment? Not just for our kids, the teachers. Teachers are quitting in epic numbers because A, the kids are unruly because parents aren't parenting anymore, and B, because they don't get paid enough to deal with all the crap. How many other people do you know go to work with the threat that they're going to maybe be shot or harmed at their job? Not very many, right? Police officers, first responders, right? We know that's part of the job that they signed up for. Military personnel. So why don't we make it a safer environment for our kids and for the personnel that's in charge of protecting and teaching them? Personally, I think it needs to be something that we really focus on. And honestly, if I was more of an outspoken person, I had half a mind to run for office. But I'm not a rich person. I'm a nobody. And I don't know that I could stomach dealing with all these hypocrites, because to me, they're all hypocrites. I feel like everybody gets elected on one thing and then they turn around and do the opposite of what they were elected for. And I don't like politicians. I think they're assholes, personally. I've never met one or encountered one that I thought was worth a shit. I think they're all crooks. I think they're all liars. And they're all snakes, in my opinion. We need some normal people that still have some sort of moral compass to help turn things around. And these dreams that I keep having are not good. This is the first one like this that I've had, but I've had other ones in the last few months that were also unsettling. And I don't always share what I dream about because not all of it's, for public viewing and things like that. But this one bothered me. And so I really hope that nothing comes of it. I hope it's just a stupid dream. My life has been a little stressful lately, so I'm going to chalk it up to that's probably what it is. But honestly, it's like I do feel like the rest of us need to somehow take a stand and figure out how we make things safer for the children. They're our next generation, right? Should they have to have active shooter drills? No. No, I think that school needs to be a place where we're 100% safe. And if it's not, then it's not even as safe as our courtrooms. And that to me is a shame. Hope you guys have a really good day.